Hello everyone, Shroomraver here, and today I'm excited to bring you my Week 10 battle from the Pokemon Premier League. Yes, indeed. Now, going into this battle, we, Parasect Germain, were first on the table. A position, again, I never thought I'd find myself in. However, it's getting down to the wire now, it's very close. Right behind us was Fredford, on the same amount of points, only behind us on KO differential. And then you had Shardy and Ellie. They were both just behind us, one win behind both myself and Fred. So really close stuff going into this game, which meant it was still very important to maintain a winning record. Now, this was going to be difficult because our Week 10 match is against Titos. And Titos unfortunately was at the bottom of the table going into this game. But that's by no means means that it's going to be an easy win, an easy game, you know. Titos is an excellent player in his own right. He actually got a very good team, and for the first time this league, I went into this battle not entirely confident in my team, you know. And I'll explain the reason for that why later on when I go over Titos' team. So, before we do that, let's go over the team I decided to bring, and the reasons why I decided to bring them. So, first up, we have Piloswine. Piloswine here is a sort of defensive build with some nominal attack investment. Impish Nature, Rock and Earthquake, Icicle Spear, Ice Shard, and Stealth Rock. Rock's very useful against Titos' team, and with the investment I've got, allows me to take a V-Crate from Banded Victini, and after the defense drop, Oko with Earthquake. Victini was one of Titos' mons that really worried me, because once again, it's that powerful physical fire type that has proven to be so effective in this format, and that I just really don't have much to deal with. So Piloswine was sort of one way of dealing with it. It also has the rocks, to say that's very important against Titos' team. So second member, I went with Meloetta. This is my standard Meloetta spread. A lot of special defense, some special attack investment, modest nature, assault vest, hyper voice, Psyshock, Thunderbolt, and Shadow Ball. Once again, this is my answer to Titos' special attackers, but there are reasons why I wasn't as confident in Meloetta as before, and once again, I'll go over those reasons when I get into Titos' team. But you know, those 4 moves are going to be hitting his squad particularly hard. And yeah, that's what Meloetta is there for. Its usual job, tank the special hits, get off some decent damage. So third off we have Sableye. Sableye is back. Once again, this is a fully physically defensive Sableye. Trick, Knock Off, Recover, and Will-O-Wisp with the lagging tail. Titos does have a lot of very fast things on his team. And if I can get a Trick, a lagging tail onto any of those things, I'm looking at the Tornadus-T, the Lucario, the Raichu, the Victini. He's brought Scarf T-Tar before. Lagging tail, and that would be very nice. So yeah, that's what Sableye is there for. Lagging tail onto a potential Scarf Victini is very important. Lagging tail onto a Banded Victini followed by a knockoff is a KO on Victini, which is very interesting. So I have to see what kind of shenanigans Sableye can pull. Fourth member of my team today is going to be Ibra, my Zapdos. Once again, it's a Scarfed mixed Zapdos, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Drill Peck, and Hidden Power Ground. He's got a fair amount of ground weakness, and pairing up a ground type move on Zapdos is going to be very nice because it hits a lot of his team at very least neutrally. Quite a lot of them get hit super effectively by that coverage. Drill Peck there for those fighting types. Conkeldurr doesn't appreciate it, Virizion certainly doesn't appreciate it, and you know, that's what Zapdos is going to be there for. Very important member of the team, keep that Scarf intact, outspeed all those nasty fast threats that Titos has, if they're not Scarf themselves. Fifth member of the team is Gyarados, and I was inspired by Gym Leader Geo, who brought a Power Herb Bounce Gyarados, and I decided to do the same thing. Waterfall, Bounce, Dragon Dance, and Taunt on this, Jolly Nature, Intimidate. And this Gyarados sets up all over the Togetic, which I was certain Titos was going to be bringing. It's an absolute stop to Mega-Gallade if it's physically defensive. It can stop Gyarados any normal form of Gyarados, but my idea was to kind of get it in on the Togetic, go for Taunt, start setting up D-Dances, and hopefully just sweep. The Power Herb bounced very nice again, as I say, for those fighting type Pokemon. And the final member is going to be Mega-Gallade. I decided actually this time to bring specially defensive Mega-Gallade, max HP, max special defense, careful nature, Drain Punch, Rock Slide, Sub, Bulk Up. Once again, another thing that could set up on the Togetic, which again I was so sure that he was bringing, because as I say, it was just this great answer to an offensive Mega-Gallade. So that was my thought process going into this battle. Now, let's take a look at the squad Titos could choose from. He has Blastoise, Victini, Tyranitar, Conkeldurr, Raichu, Lucario, Togetic, Porygon 2, Tornadus-T, Virizion, and Dusknoir. Now, there were a few things there that I instantly discounted him from bringing. I didn't think the T-Tar was coming. I didn't think the Porygon 2 was coming, because neither of them want to deal with Mega-Gallade. I thought he would have Dusknoir for that. And, you know, the Blastoise Victini thing was something he's brought a lot, and I thought I'd see that again. I was certain that he would be bringing that Togetic. As I say, it really deals very well with my Mega-Gallade. So let's get into the team that Titos did end up bringing. As you can see on the screen, Blastoise, Victini, Raichu, Conkeldurr, Dusknoir, and Tornadus-T. Titos really surprised me with this. He did not bring the team I was expecting, and this worries me from the outset. There was no real opportunities for setup here. None at all. You know, he didn't bring the Togetic. I was so certain he would bring the Togetic. And from the looks of things, I was looking at going, this is a very offensive team. Now, the reason I wasn't confident in Meloetta, like I usually am, his special attacking options there. He could bring a special attacking Blastoise. I figured he would probably be a defensive set. Victini, Raichu, and Tornadus. Victini you often see as a physical attacker, but I've shown that I can deal with that with gimmicks. So in the back of my mind I was thinking this could be a special Victini. Raichu is very often special, can run physical, and Tornadus, mostly special, but also has those physical options. The problem with these three as special attackers is they get physical coverage, which is super effective on Meloetta. They all get either knockoff and or U-turn. Meloetta does not want to deal with that, which is why I was not confident in Meloetta going into this game. So while I wasn't confident in the team, Meloetta is a crutch that I like to lean on when it comes to special offense, and I just wasn't sure it was going to be able to in this one. And I realised I was going to have to play very well in this game to win. Titos had a decent matchup, to be honest, and as I say, I was quite worried going into it. But that's enough of the preamble of this game. I guess all that's left to do is to get into the battle and see how things played out. So, Tito's going to be issuing that challenge here, and I'm going to lead off with my Piloswine wanting to get those rocks off as soon as possible. He's going to lead with Toki, that is of course his Tornadus. I'm okay with this matchup. He doesn't really want to be staying in. Going to go for the U-turn. I am physically defensive. I'm going to be eating that up. And he shows that he is a Life Orb set, so I'm thinking this is going to be that mixed Tornadus with utility U-turn. So he's going to send in Broly. That is his Conkeldurr. Good switch for him. It does of course allow me to get up those rocks. If he's not packing Defog on the Tornadus, this is going to be a problem. I'm not even sure if he gets it. Here he shows he is a Flame Orb Gut set. Very interesting indeed. It's not the Assault Vest set we've come to know. I make a huge over-prediction here. I see him going for the knockoff of my Sableye, so I try and get that justified boost. He actually just goes for the Drain Punch, and for a resisted hit on an HP invested Gallade, this does a lot of damage. A huge amount. Gallade is not happy about taking that much damage. However, I could pack their Zen Headbutt or the Psycho Cut, so Broly's going to switch on out. He's going to go into his Dusknoir. This is his answer to my Mega-Gallade. So Dusknoir comes in, Frisks finds my Galladeite, which obviously he doesn't need to know what I've got. And what I'm going to do here is Mega Evolve, and I'm just going to pop a sub early on. I mean, the switch into Dusknoir is a fairly obvious play. It's definitely his go-to guy for my Gallade. So I'm going to go for the sub, but what this means is that turn 3 I'm already at a massively low amount of health on Mega-Gallade. He does show me that he has the Shadow Sneak. That is easily going to break my sub from there. I don't have any bulk ups up just yet. And I decided just to go for the Rock Slide here, just to gauge how much damage I was going to be doing to this Dusknoir, and, you know, scout and see if it's got any kind of leftovers. He doesn't show leftovers. I'm thinking he might be banded. So I go into Meloetta to sort of find out. I'm obviously going to take a Shadow Sneak very nicely indeed, because I'm immune. What this means is I can go for a Shadow Ball, and he shows he's not banded at all because he stays in on my Shadow Ball and goes for a Taunt, just in case I was going to do any sort of Calm Mind setup shenanigans. But as I say, I'm the Assault Vest set. So here I'm going to be able to go for the Psyshock just to finish off this Dusknoir. And so early game, Meloetta putting in a bit of a shift, and I'm 6-5 up. So Titos going to send back out his Toki. He's got that regenerated to get back to full, takes the rocks damage, and he's going to go for a U-turn. I was thinking this was going to be a mixed attacker, not fully invested in attack, so I can take this U-turn off the Life Orb here. Possibly he was expecting me to switch out here, not wanting to take massive damage on Meloetta, but I'm okay with it. And he's going to go into 360 No Scope his Blastoise. And he's going to take some rocks damage, that's absolutely fine. And here comes the Hyper Voice from Meloetta. And that is doing a huge amount of damage to Blastoise. After lefties, it's still doing a massive amount. Turns out this was an offensive Blastoise set, which is excellent to see. But it does mean that a subsequent Thunderbolt is going to take out Blastoise. Incidentally, he was packing Hidden Power Electric. Curse you, Hidden Power Electric, and Titos series. Prepared for my own Gyarados. So, Meloetta has chalked up a couple of KOs and is looking really good. Here, in comes the Victini, and I'm kind of looking to see what he's going to do, so I leave in Meloetta. Here, this was a misclick, he told me. He goes for the Shadow Ball, which of course doesn't affect Meloetta. Allows me to get a huge amount of damage with the Hyper Voice. And here, he goes for the U-turn, showing that he also has that physical coverage to hit Meloetta. This is not good, but it does mean that I can live it, because he's clearly some kind of mixed set. He goes into his Tornadus. I'm going to go for the Hyper Voice and get, you know, solid damage on the Tornadus, really solid. And here is where it all starts to go wrong. I predict the U-turn. I don't know why I predicted the U-turn. My play was to sack off Meloetta. I predicted the U-turn, I go into Zapdos, and he goes for the knockoff. This is huge. He does half damage to Zapdos and knocks off my Scarf. This is massive. All I needed to do was sack off Meloetta. That's all I needed to do. I had a free switch into Zapdos. What he can do now is go for the U-turn and kill himself off to Life Orb. This is actually quite good for him, because he's going to see what kind of moves I'm going to be able to go for. I actually went for the Hidden Power Ground, predicting the Raichu. And it is the Raichu that comes in here. But I don't have my Scarf anymore, and a Thunderbolt from this range will probably be taking out Zapdos from there. So I'm going to make the obvious switch into Piloswine, and Titos makes a very good play, goes for the Focus Blast. Unfortunately, he misses. But this is not too much of a thing, because he goes for it next turn, and it just straight up KOs my Piloswine, proving that this is a Specs Raichu. So I get my first down, and I'm going to go into my Sableye, just to kind of do some nasty shenanigans. He is going to withdraw, get on out of there. He doesn't want to be taking a hit, and he's going to go into Broly. That is, of course, his Conkeldurr. As I think I pull a switch of my own. I do indeed. I do pull a switch of my own. Don't want to leave it in on Raichu. He had to switch out. I knew he had to, so I went into Zapdos. Because I knew that his Raichu was Specs, he had to switch out. Focus Blast obviously not hitting the Sableye. So now I have Zapdos in on Conkeldurr, and I'm just going to go for the Volt Switch. Nice and Volt Switch, get on out of there. And I've done some nice damage to this Conk. And at this point, I do decide to sack off Meloetta, which is something I should have done before. And he shows he has the Fling, which is fantastic. Props to Titos for running Fling Flame Orb Guts Conkeldurr. That, he said, was there for either the Gyarados or the Mega-Gallade. But I see he's going to go down to burn next turn. So I go into Gyarados, and I calced it, and I can live an Intimidate Guts Rock Slide from this, set up a Dragon Dance, and just win. And it's about this moment that I remember, hang on, Conkeldurr doesn't only get Rock Slides, that's not the most powerful rock attack it gets. And of course, Titos has nothing to lose by running Stone Edge. He has nothing to lose in this league at all. He just goes for Stone Edge and destroys my Gyarados. Gyarados is gone. Down goes Conkeldurr to the burn. So now we're looking at a 4-on-2 situation. I go into my Sableye. I think it's 4-on-2. Yeah, I think so. And he goes into his Raichu. And I don't see another opportunity to go for my trick. Crippling this Raichu is going to be very nice. So go for the trick. You're going to get the lagging tail onto Raichu and confirm in mind that this was indeed a Specs one. But he makes a very good play here. He's going to go for the Volt Switch on Sableye. And he's going to, of course, go into the one thing he has left, which is his Victini. YOLO V is going to come in and just live the Rock Switch in. I know I can't take a hit at this point, so I'm going to go for a cover just to try and see what he's going to be rocking out with. And I'll go for the recover, and he is packing the Searing Shot, which is a very powerful move. It does enormous damage. I don't think I would have lived at the range of health I was at. At this point I am locked in to recover, I am burnt, things are not going well. And at this point I was just looking at the screen going, oh, I've thrown this game away. I've absolutely thrown it away. I go for the recover, it's not enough, he's going to go for the Searing Shot, and you know, that's going to take out Sableye from there. So all I have left is Zapdos and Mega-Gallade. Zapdos does not have a Scarf anymore. This is a speed type, we are both base 100, we are both max invested. And Victini with the speed type. If I had my Scarf, this would have been it. I would have been done, I would have outsped, and life would have been glorious. But he wins the speed tie, takes out Zapdos, and that is game. I don't have Shadow Sneak on this Mega-Gallade. Once again, not having priority on Mega-Gallade is going to come back and bite me in the arse. If I was at better health, I might have been able to take this Searing Shot. But I took too much damage early on. Down goes Mega-Gallade, and that, ladies and gents, is going to be the game. So, we lose. What really can I say? A 2-0 loss to Titos. I played really badly, honestly. I played too riskily with a lot of my mons. Taking early damage on Gallade was stupid. I had a safe switch that I should have just gone into Sableye. Losing the Scarf on Zapdos was huge. I mean, if I had the Scarf on Zapdos, I won that game. You know, the Gyarados play against Conkeldurr really didn't matter. You know, his Raichu took out Gyarados in one shot anyway. His Victini, I believe, was Expert Belt and was packing the Thunderbolt as its 4th move that wasn't shown. You know, what can I say? I threw it away, really. It was the knockoff on Zapdos that was the crucial moment. Everything else was just a comedy of errors after it started so well. And that's to say, take nothing away from Titos. He played fantastically well in that game. He team built excellently. He brought a team I was not expecting. He was running moves I was not expecting. But as I say, Titos had nothing to lose. He could run stuff that I wasn't expecting, and it worked out for him here. He played very well. He made the prediction with the Raichu. And that was another stupid play by me. I knew he's a Raichu. Of course he's locked into Focus Blast. And I had a Sableye that I could have gone into. And I left Piloswine in to die, and Piloswine could have been useful in the end game as well with the Ice Shot. It was just a series of stupid plays on stupid plays against Titos, who played very well. So, you know, that's how it is, unfortunately. So now we go into week 11, the final week of the PPL, in 2nd place. And unfortunately, our destiny is no longer solely in our own hands. Because Fred is sitting in 1st. We are sitting in 2nd. And he is ahead of us. He's ahead of us on points. We're ahead on differential. We've got the best differential in the league. But we just don't have the most amount of points. That goes to Fred, and what it means is, it doesn't really matter if I win or lose next week. If Fred wins, he wins the competition. He wins Season 1 of the PPL. Which means we need Raikou to come through and overturn a horrible matchup and beat Fred. And we also have to win our next game. This is not going to be an easy task in and of itself. Because my next game, and my last of the PPL, is against Shardy and Bayern Munich. This is a game that has been hyped for a very long time, myself versus Shardy. We have a fairly even matchup. He's an excellent player. Privately, I think he's better than me. But we have some tricks up our sleeve. Shardy is the man of speed creeping. I am the man of gimmicks. We have a few that we can turn to. So Shardy, do not get comfortable, because I am coming for you. And Fred, this one goes out to you as well. You better not get comfortable either, because I know Raiquin's going to be coming for you. And if Raiquin comes for you, I come for you. And if Raiquin beats you, I take the win. So you know what, Fred? It's on you. We'll have to see what you can do. You guys are going to have to see what I can do against Shardy next week. As for this one, my opponent, of course, is Titos. His links will be down in the description below. Definitely go and check him out. He's got some fantastic content on his channel. You'll be able to see his side of this battle as well as all his other PPL matches. He does some Nuzlocke stuff as well. He recently completed an Egglock of, I believe, was it Platinum that he played through. And he's recently started an excellent playthrough of Pokemon Conquest, which I'd never seen before. It's kind of Pokemon meets Fire Emblem. It's really cool. Definitely go and check that out. You will not be disappointed by Titos' channel. Give this man your time. He's an absolutely excellent guy, and he's got some fantastic stuff on his channel. Links, of course, also to the PPL will be down in the description below. You'll be able to check out the YouTube, the Twitter, get all your PPL news, all things PPL. You'll be able to check out the Meet the Manager videos, find out everyone else who's involved, and they're all fantastic people in themselves, so definitely go and check them out as well. But that is going to be it from me from this video. So thank you very much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed, despite watching me crash and burn spectacularly in this game. But it's not over yet, you know? We can still win this league. It's just not quite our destiny. It is shared between several others. There are still 4 teams who can win this. There's myself, there's Fredford, there's Shardy, and of course Ellie. Ellie can still win in the tournament events, you know, I think. I think she can. I'll have to check it out anyway. But, as I say, that's going to be it from this video. Keep supporting Parasect Germain, guys. We are still going for the top. My final thank you for watching, and I guess with that, I'll see you next time. Laters.